Tapped Out to Pro Wrestling, a new revolutionary force in wrestling YouTube videos.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the very first episode of Tapped Out to Pro Wrestling Pick-Fed Working Hours.
Workhorse Championship. I just listed 2 of his accomplishments, but trust me, he's got many, many more.
JR, I just gotta say, this is gonna be a very exciting night.
Wow, guys, I gotta say, if I was excited for that Samoa Joe reaction.
Kyle O'Reilly on the outside now as Bryan Danielson suicide dive to the outside. If CM Punk's face wasn't clean before, it better be now, as Samoa Joe drills his boot through the face of CM Punk. And Riley is now O'Reilly kick, sweet, off the ropes and a PK to the chest. My God, just caving his chest in there.
He's got that knee, but Danielson kicks to the chest, just trying to cave the chest into Kyle O'Reilly. And now look at this, big old kick to the head.
With stuff like this, a suicide dive to Danielson on the outside.
To one another and just lighting each other up at every possible chance with shots just like these. My God.
Oh my, this is a very precarious situation for Danielson to be in as he goes for that missile drop kick.
You got a monster like Samoa Joe throwing you off the focus of getting the victory here, but Joe going for the pin. 1, 2. Danielson diving off the top rope with that diving headbutt. Oh, look out here, muscle buster there.
Joe looking for a lariat, but it's gonna cost him. CM Punk is gonna make him go to sleep.
You're right about that, King, as now GTS.
Who represent the light heavyweight division here.
Rob Van Dam is here, a man who some claim to be an extremist, but is...
Off the ropes goes Ricochet, ducks the line, here we go, Rob Van Dam. Placing him right down on his back there with those quick feet of Rob Van Dam.
Well, my memory's not so good, but if I did, I haven't seen one royalty check from it.
As now Ricochet gets the upper hand with that clothesline and a spaceman plancha to the floor.
No one gets up from that, but I think the end is in sight.
And there it is, King, the guillotine leg drop.
You can see Rob Van Dam has taken these bitty pops. Oh no, he isn't thinking what I think he's thinking, is he? He can't be. I don't think that's stable enough to hold it, Rob! No, don't do this! No, my God!
That's gonna leave a mark.
I think that's the whole idea, King.
Oh no, rolling thunder! Ricochet able to get out of the way. The electrifying man, Rob Van Dam off the ropes, kick to the gut, big old enziguri, catches him, Rick Bottom, incoming! And you know what that sets up for. Ricochet's People's Moonsault.
It's the most electrifying move in sports entertainment, the People's Moonsault.
No! Rob Van Dam able to catch him. Rolling Thunder.
5-star frog splash.
He sure is, right on top of his opponent. 5-star frog splash.
Here's the cover, JR.
He may get the 3 count here.
And here comes the Sandman. Terry Funk, there he is. John Moxley. Oh, almost there.
Oh, suplex on the floor.
With that 2x4 covered in nails, and he's scraping it on the face of the Sandman. My God. Or maybe he does. Bulldog into that exploding barbed wire.
Did you see that? Would you look at that?
Up from the top rope. My God. Hurricane Rado from the top rope. This jab. Trying to end this one early. Bringing out the wood.
Diving elbow through the table there by Cactus Jack.
No! Not the pier! Not the pier! My God! Can you imagine the impact of that chair on the human body?
No, Terry Funk grabbed the light too.
No!
I don't think Funk noticed. Moonsault on that barbed wire. My God! Only to put him right back with that DDT.
Barbed wire!
Double underhook could be going for it, but no. Cactus Jack rolled through double arm DDT. And that could be it, but look at the Sandman quickly to the top. That Swanton Bomb, signature Swanton Bomb of the Sandman, and now...
Here we go. Pile driver. Oh my gosh.
And that could be it. 1, 2, there we go. But this man, a guy who earlier tonight you all heard, believes that he should already have this championship around his, what you've got to believe, if you're Booker T and you're Sting, this is the guy who realistically you're going to stay on for the entirety of this match. And I don't know how you can be, especially when you got a man like Darby Allin by his side. Booker T laying in these shots. Off the ropes goes Sting. Into that kick there by Booker T. Now with these shots to Kane, kick to the gut, and a big old DDT sending them head first into the mat. And now he's grabbing Sting. Maybe he could be doing the same thing here, but no, a neck breaker there. What's he going for? And a big old power bomb from out of the corner. And now Booker T gets sent over the top rope, and Kane's going right out after him. And the fight has now been taken to the floor. This can't be good. Look out, Sting over the top rope. No, you've got to be kidding me. Mankind, elbow drop from the second rope. But Sting nails him with a tombstone pile driver. But not for long as Booker T was able to hit that Houston hangover. You love to see it from Booker T. This is why these people love him. But no, not for long as Kane grabs that gullet. But he gets caught. Stinger splash in the corner to Booker T. Sting gonna get Kane. Yes, that Stinger splash. But Booker T back to his feet. Kick to the gut of Sting. Could be going for a scissor kick, but no. Sting was able to catch him. Gorilla press. He's up high. And down comes Booker T. It's all legal here, but Sting, he's got Mankind. But he's not in this match, Sting. It doesn't matter. Scorpion death drop to Mankind. But now, Booker T with a scissor kick. Oh, and Kane, he's got the throat. Could be going for that choke slam. But wait a second. Is that a lantern? It's Bray Wyatt. What the heck is Bray Wyatt doing out here? Oh, wait a second. Brody Lee with a discus clothesline. Bray Wyatt and Brody Lee are out here. And oh my God, what is that? Some kind of pig monster. Darby Allin, the meteor from the top rope. And no! Brody Lee just nailed Sting with that metal baseball bat. I don't even think Bray Wyatt will let us get to the mix as the lights go out again. Oh my, and look at this! Booker T is on top of Sting. 1, 2, and that's it! Booker T moves on, and now Booker T is set to take on CM Punk in the next qualifying match. Or I'm sorry, not the next qualifying match, but in the next match for the Tapped Out to Pro Wrestling Workhorse Championship. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the Tapped Out to Pro Wrestling Working Hours brand. We are about to have some tag team action as Swerve Strickland and Ricochet are going 2-on-2 against Rob Van Dam and Ilya Dragunov. You all saw it last week. Well, last episode, Ricochet went 1-on-1 with Rob Van Dam, and afterwards, after Rob Van Dam beat Ricochet, he was none too happy about it. Ricochet tried continuing the onslaught where we thought Swerve Strickland was going to come out and save the day, but Swerve Strickland was just looking to continue the beatdown on Rob Van Dam. Up until finally, Ilya Dragunov came out to save the day for Rob Van Dam and fight off both Swerve Strickland and Ricochet. And then afterwards, you all saw it, Rob Van Dam bursting into Theodore Long's office, demanding this match here tonight, this tag team match, or at least just demanding a match between Swerve Strickland, Ricochet, and himself. And now we have tag team action, as all four of these men are going up in this tag team match. Theodore Long did in fact say we were going to be seeing this in the future, and folks, we're going to be seeing it right here tonight. As here he comes, folks, as I like to call him, the highest in the room, Rob Van Dam. The whole effing show is here, folks. He was here last week and had a very impressive victory over Ricochet. This man is one of the greatest legends, not just in the WWE, but ECW as well. And tonight, he's here in this tag team match. And You know, as much as Ricochet and Swerve Strickland said that this man did not have friends, and as much as they were saying that this man and Ilya Dragunov did not look too friendly, well, I don't know. Hopefully they'll be able to team together here tonight. And look at this. Come on now, Rob just getting a little pregame in as the smoke just nailing him right in the face. You gotta love it. You gotta love the lifestyle of Rob Van Dam. He's just so laid back. He's so chill. He's that guy that you just want to be around, you know? Oh, but wait a second! Ricochet with a spaceman plancha over the top rope to get this thing started. My God, not even waiting for Ilya Dragunov to come out here. Just going straight after Rob Van Dam as now he lifts up Rob Van Dam. Take a look here. Ricochet trying to get Swerve Strickland to come out and do the job. Trying to do a 2-on-1 beatdown. Oh, before this thing could even start, but Rob able to fight off Ricochet there with that kick. And now look at this Swerve on the apron here. What's this going to be? Swerve could possibly be trying to stop Rob Van Dam with that shooting star press off the apron. But now, as you can hear, here comes the fourth man in this match. Rob Van Dam's tag team partner, Ilya Dragunov, is here, folks. And he don't look none too happy here as take a look, H-bomb off the stage to Swerve Strickland. Nailing that forearm in the face of Swerve Strickland to start this thing off. Rob Van Dam's got to be happy he's got a friend in a guy like Ilya Dragunov. But we're about to start this thing off here as Ilya Dragunov and Ricochet, the first two to start this one off. Handspring by Ricochet, gets caught. Ooh, landing on his feet from that German, went for that kick, but no! My God, Ilya Dragunov just sending Ricochet inside and out with that chop. Ricochet backing up into his corner here, and the people want to see Rob Van Dam. These people want the whole effing show. And folks, they just might get it. Ilya Dragunov could be looking to tag in Rob here. Oh, but look at Ricochet back to his feet. He's not too happy about that one. Oh, with a pump-up kick. Kicking him straight to the face there. Ricochet, oh, taking his eye off the ball though, but Ilya able to get that tag to Rob, jumping over the top rope with that kick. Nailing Ricochet with that roundhouse kick over the top rope and a twisting leg drop, but he missed. He missed that leg drop. Ricochet went for the kick, but Rob able to move out of the way. Look at this, sweep to the leg, miss. Ricochet off the ropes, head scissors. Backing Rob Van Dam up into his corner now with Swerve Strickland, and this is not where you want to be in a tag team match. You do not want to be in your opponent's opposing corner as Ricochet trying to get in the face of Ilya Dragunov here. Oh, and you've got to be kidding me. With the referee now distracted by Ilya Dragunov, Swerve Strickland and Ricochet looking to sink their teeth into Rob Van Dam. You've got to be kidding me with the referee distracted, tagging to Swerve Strickland here. Forearm by Ricochet, Irish whips him to the back, and look at that back suplex. Oh, and a springboard moonsault to boot. Ricochet and Swerve Strickland working really well as a team here with that springboard 450. And that could be all she wrote. 1, 2, only a 2 count there. Rob Van Dam able to kick out of the springboard 450, but he gets caught with that backbreaker. My God. You know, Swerve Strickland and Ricochet, two guys who will just wear you down from the start of the bell, and that's exactly what they're doing here to Rob Van Dam as Ricochet got him for that German. But no, Rob able to get out of it with that back elbow, but Ricochet caught him quickly with that roundhouse kick on the outside. And now a drop kick sending Rob to the outside and a Fosbury flop. Swerve Strickland just staying on the attack here on Rob Van Dam, and now Ricochet in the ring with Rob Van Dam here. And he's got Rob, he's got Rob right where he wants him with the recoil. No! Rob Van Dam to the back with that German suplex, bridging German suplex, might I add. Beautiful. He went for that kick, but Ricochet got out of it with the DVD, and a beautiful discus clothesline there. My God, what a combo. The Death Valley driver and the discus clothesline. And now Swerve has Rob right where he wants him, but Rob able to get out of it, pulling Swerve down. Take a look, kicks to the chest here by Rob Van Dam. Rob Van Dam with those educated feet, taking down Swerve Strickland with that roundhouse kick, and now he sees Ricochet, catches him as well. Swerve cannot get that tag, as now Rob gets the tag to Ilya Dragunov that he needs, and Ilya is a house of fire here, folks. Sit-out powerbomb. And now look at Ricochet rolling in here. Rick bottom to Ilya Dragunov. And now Rob Van Dam sending Ricochet, oh my God. crashing over the top rope, and that was not a pretty fall there for Ricochet. And now look at Rob Van Dam headed to the top rope. Could this be like the old school ECW days, folks? Rob Van Dam, here it comes. Oh my God, senton to the floor. Diving senton all the way out to Ricochet, almost into the audience, ladies and gentlemen. But now look, oh no, Swerve going for big pressure, roll through there by Ilya Dragunov. Oh, and he caught him with a Torpedo Moscow. Man, the momentum of Ilya Dragunov was able to send him into that Moscow, but no, look at this. Ricochet able to break up the pin though just in time to keep this tag match going. My God, that was very close there. If Ricochet was not able to get Rob into the apron, that could have been it. Oh, but look at this. Swerve Strickland has Ilya right where he wants him now as he gets him all the way up for that brain buster. Goes for the pin. 1, 2. Oh! Wait a second. Miscalculation there. Rob Van Dam was trying to hit Swerve with the 5-star frog splash, but he moved out of the way and he caught Ilya Dragunov on accident. And now, oh, look at this. Swerve stomp by Swerve Strickland. And now Ricochet looking to get the tag here. You've got it. Miscommunication from the tag team of Rob Van Dam and Ilya Dragunov gives Ricochet the spirit gun. And the win. There it is, folks. Ricochet and Swerve Strickland able to pick up the win in this tag team match. But you gotta believe that Rob Van Dam is none too happy after just giving his partner a 5-star frog splash. He just gave his tag team partner a 5-star frog splash. You've got to be kidding me. Man. Well, you know, this is not the outcome I was hoping to see, but I gotta say, this was a pretty entertaining match, folks. Both of these teams had each other's number from the start of it, but it's obvious who was the better team out of the two. Ricochet and Swerve Strickland just know each other a little better. Well, ladies and gentlemen, thank you for joining us for this tag match. We'll see you in the next part.
Hey there, Tapped Out to Pro Wrestling fans. This is Dylan from the Talkin' Wrestling podcast. We give you a weekly deep dive into all things professional wrestling. I'm more of an old school wrestling fan who still gets chills thinking about Hayabusa's high-flying moves, and yeah, I still miss the chaos of ECW and the old school feel of Smoky Mountain.
And I'm Lissy, more of a modern wrestling enthusiast. I lean a little bit more towards AEW, though you can catch me still following WWE as well. I'm all about the elite. Kenny, Hangman, Jack Perry, the Bucks, all of them. They keep the biz alive for me, as well as brought me back kind of like Pepsi Phil 7 years after coming back.
That's right. We're here to talk about everything from classic wrestling history to the most modern angles in the wrestling world. Whether it's the top stories from WWE, AEW, the Indies, if it's pro wrestling news and or history, you're bound to discuss it.
We love discussing it all, from today's biggest stars like Kenny Omega, you know, the best bout machine, to those hardcore legends like Mick Foley or Cactus Jack or Mankind or even Dude Love. Well, you know, whichever one of those. But if you're looking for insight into the past of wrestling, the present of wrestling, or even our thoughts on the future of wrestling, or even if you just need some wrestling therapy, we're your go-to.
Oh yeah, in every episode, we make sure to highlight a Wrestler of the Week, which you can see the list of everyone we've chosen in the past on our Instagram. One of the greats, whether it's someone who changed the game or someone who pops in our head. And don't forget, we kick off each show with a quick check-in about our week. Nothing too fancy, but it gives you a little peek into what we're up to with your backstage pass.
Yep, and that just adds a little personal touch, so it feels like we're all hanging out together, whether you're driving, working, or just relaxing. So if you have the time on your hands in this terrible economy, after watching this Tapped Out to Pro Wrestling video, give us a view and hit that subscribe button. But make sure you don't leave this Tapped Out to Pro Wrestling video. Bryce told me to say that. You'll get all the juicy commentary, fun debates, and maybe a little bit of nostalgia from us. Who knows?
A little. I think that's every episode. So remember, whether you're old school or modern, we've got something for every wrestling fan. So stay tuned and let's keep the conversation rolling, baby.
Hello, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome back to Tapped Out to Pro Wrestling Working Hours, flanked by, of course, our general manager, Theodore Long. We are about to hear from the man who last week got the chance to qualify for an opportunity to fight for the Workhorse Championship. CM Punk, the guy who last week had to defeat Samoa Joe, Kyle O'Reilly, and Bryan Danielson to get his next opportunity, which is going to be up against Booker T. And you gotta believe CM Punk is only coming out here to talk about Booker T. At least that would be my thought. Or maybe he's coming out here because of Jim Cornette trying to extend the hand to him right after the match. Yes, Jim Cornette came out after CM Punk won that triple threat match, or I'm sorry, that fatal four-way match. Jim Cornette did in fact come out, and he decided that he was going to extend the olive branch to CM Punk. Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome at this time, CM Punk! He even brought the British Bulldog and Yokozuna out here to intimidate him a little bit, but it clearly didn't work because CM Punk has come out here on his own. And like I said, hopefully to talk about his next match against Booker T. Because if this man does in fact face Booker T, he would then have to go up against the winner of either the match that has Bret Hart, The Rock, British Bulldog, and Mankind in it, or the winner of the match that has The Undertaker, The Big Show, or Shinsuke Nakamura. And honestly, I gotta say, he's already had some pretty tried and true opponents. I don't know if he'll be able to beat any of those guys after having the fight that he had in that Fatal 4-Way.
Tapped out to pro wrestling. Last episode, you all watched as I defeated Samoa Joe, Bryan Danielson, and Kyle O'Reilly to move one step closer to the Workhorse Championship. My next target is set to be Booker T. I gotta tear through him next. But that's actually not what I came out here to talk about. I wanted to talk about that mama's boy Jim Cornette and his big smelly 600-pound giant, along with his beefy, bold British Bulldog. I don't want them stepping in my way of the Workhorse Championship. So I wanted to come out here to let them know they shouldn't try to put their noses in my business when it comes to these next few matches. I'll handle these guys after I get my hands on that championship, but if they want to try to step to me when I'm in my zone, then I'll have to put that Bulldog down, give Yoko his one last calorie, and take away Cornette's allowance.
Well, yeah, sure enough, like I was saying, CM Punk none too happy about Jim Cornette trying to get him to join Camp Cornette last week. But now here comes the British Bulldog, and I guess he's none too happy about what CM Punk just had to say. And you gotta think if British Bulldog is flanked by Jim Cornette, Yokozuna cannot be too far behind. As there's Jim Cornette there. The British Bulldog is one of the most powerful men we have here on the Tapped Out Pro Wrestling Working Hours brand. He has a match later tonight against Bret the Hitman Hart, The Rock, and Mankind, as all four of those men are going to compete for a chance to fight for the Tapped Out Pro Wrestling Workhorse Championship. And honestly, I gotta say, I'm kind of surprised. No Yokozuna, just the British Bulldog coming out. I don't know, I wonder what this is about. You know, Jim Cornette was none too happy about CM Punk turning down his offer last week. So, you know, now CM Punk coming out here and explaining why he said no. Is Jim Cornette gonna, I don't know, is he gonna let British Bulldog go after him? I mean, it looks like British Bulldog wants to taste of CM Punk right now.
Now, Punk, we didn't come out here for a fight. We do come in peace. But last week, I gave you the opportunity of a lifetime. You decided to stick with that vegan idiot Danielson instead of joining the camp that's going to take over this promotion, hated by myself, the greatest manager to ever live, Jim Cornette. Now I'm only going to give you this one last opportunity to come to your senses. I understand you probably weren't in the right kind frame,
especially after having a grueling match like you did. So Punk should join this Camp Cornette if you know what's good for you.
You know, Cornette, I'm very happy you are giving me this opportunity. I'm so happy you're giving me the opportunity to turn you down a second time. Cornette, holy shit, shut up. I will never ever in my life for as long as I'm breathing this Earth's air, will join Camp Cornette. So no more offers, no more opportunities. I don't want them. I just want one thing, the Workhorse Championship. Now tell your beefy dog to stop breathing his hot, heavy breath on me. I mean, what are you begging for my attention? Well, you got it, Davey. I'll beat your ass so hard. Your forehead will look worse than the Dynamite Kid after a night of headbutts and family matters.
That's Owen Hart! Owen Hart came out here and just hit CM Punk with a drop kick. You've got to be kidding me. Is Owen Hart a member of this Camp Cornette? With a moonsault to CM Punk. Owen Hart must be a member of this Cornette. But here comes a man to help CM Punk with a man who this man had to fight in a fatal four-way last week. Bryan Danielson. Here comes Bryan Danielson, hopefully, yep, there he is, to help CM Punk like he did last week. As Jim Cornette was trying to extend that olive branch, Bryan Danielson stepped in the way, and thankfully so, yet again doing so, as now he's stepping in the way of this attack, this vicious attack from the British Bulldog and Owen Hart. Man, who knows what these two men could have done if Bryan Danielson didn't come out here any sooner. I mean, it looked like they were doing some damage already, and this man has to compete for the Workhorse Championship soon. Well, ladies and gentlemen, thank you for joining us for this quick little segment. CM Punk still none too happy with Camp Cornette, and obviously so. Hey guys. Thank you for taking time out of your day to watch this Tapped Out to Pro Wrestling YouTube video. I just wanted to take this time to thank Ringside Collectibles for all that they've done for the action figure community when it comes to wrestling. If it wasn't for these guys who started it all, we wouldn't be able to get our hands on a lot of the figures you see nowadays. Now, I'm not sponsored, nor do I have a discount code by any means, but I just wanted to take this time to thank them because, again, if it wasn't for them, we wouldn't see a lot of what we do today. So go ahead right at the end of this video, or hell, even while you're watching this video, and check out ringsidecollectibles.com or wrestlingfigures.com for the most up-to-date wrestling figures in the world. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to Tapped Out to Pro Wrestling, and this man, making his way to the ring now, is not scheduled to be coming out here. We did not have any time set aside for Doink the Clown, but ladies and gentlemen, Doink the Clown is set to be making his way to the ring here, I guess. Folks, I don't know. We didn't really have anything planned with Doink the Clown here. Well, anyway, ladies and gentlemen, Doink the Clown, otherwise known as Underneath the Paint, Matt Bourne, one of the greatest wrestling characters out there, you could say. Like I was saying, we were supposed to be hearing from the Tapped Out to Pro Wrestling Hardcore Champion, the Sandman. The Sandman was supposed to be making his way out here, but I guess Doink the Clown is going to take up some of that time the Sandman has. The Sandman last week defeated Cactus Jack, Jon Moxley, and Terry Funk to become the Tapped Out to Pro Wrestling Hardcore Champion, but you can hear his music playing. The Sandman is about to make his way out here, folks, and you gotta believe he's more than likely none too happy that Doink the Clown is trying to come out here and take this time away from him. But folks, take a look all the way at the top of the arena, all the way at the top of the Tapped Out zone, the Hardcore Champion, the Sandman. Folks, this Sandman is exactly like I've said in the past. He's almost like he's one of the people here. The way he comes walking in through the crowd, it's almost like he's one of them. The Sandman is almost like that modern-day construction worker that you just found off the side of the street and you decided to give a professional wrestling contract. That's exactly what this man is like. He is one of these people. He is the average Joe of professional wrestling, but that's not necessarily a bad thing. Because when this man is in the ring, he is still able to beat the hell out of some of the hardest-hitting men out there. He is still able to beat the hell out of some of the toughest men that we've ever seen. And last week, he was able to beat the hell out of 3 men who realistically some say are some of the toughest men in the world. The hardcore division here in Tapped Out to Pro Wrestling is one of those divisions that you just have to be man enough to be a part of. And the Sandman is one of those men who definitely are man enough, but is Doink the Clown man enough here? Oh! think Sandman is about to show him exactly why he's not. With that kendo stick shot and the beer can as well. My God, like I said, the Sandman none too happy about. Doink the Clown! Trying to come out here and take time away from the Sandman. Nailing him with that kendo stick there, and he's not stopping. The onslaught continues. My God, the Sandman. The tapped out to pro wrestling hardcore champion. This is exactly why you should not try to take time away from the Sandman. Well, folks, the Sandman was supposed to discuss his future with the tapped out to pro wrestling hardcore championship, but I mean, there's not really much to discuss now, as he just laid out part of that future. Doink the Clown. And it only took a couple kendo stick shots as well. It didn't take much to take care of Doink the Clown here tonight. But the Sandman showing exactly why he carries that championship proud. He is truthfully one of the most hardcore men in professional wrestling. One of the most extreme men in professional wrestling. There's a reason he was a part of that promotion that's on his shirt right there. ECW. And it's because he's this... Wait a second! That's Abdullah the Butcher! Abdullah the Butcher, the madman from Sudan, is out here! What is this about? Oh, Abdullah the Butcher choking the Sandman in the corner! Does Abdullah the Butcher want a shot at the Hardcore Championship? What is this now? Look at this! He's stabbing Sandman in the head! What did he just stab him with? Oh my God, Abdullah the Butcher leaving the Sandman a bloody mess. But what did he just stab him with? What was that? Folks, now the Sandman covered in blood laid out in the center of the ring, and it's all because of this man, the madman from Sudan, Abdullah the Butcher. We're going to have to figure out why this happened, ladies and gentlemen. We're going to have to get some words from Abdullah the Butcher very soon. I mean, if we even can get words from him, why did he do this? My God, Abdullah the Butcher, one of the most sick and sadistic people in professional wrestling today. But ladies and gentlemen, also later tonight, we are going to be seeing Fatal 4-Way action. The Rock, Bret Hart, Mankind, and British Bulldog. All four of those men competing for a shot at the Workhorse Championship, as well as in triple threat action, also competing for a chance at the Workhorse Championship. It's The Undertaker, The Big Show, and Shinsuke Nakamura. And then we will also see later on tonight, as discussed last week, Triple H going one-on-one with Stone Cold Steve Austin. Ladies and gentlemen, all of that and more later on in this Tapped Out to Pro Wrestling Working Hours episode. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to Tapped Out the Pro Wrestling Working Hours Theodore Long's episode. We are here. Theodore Long has given us this Fatal 4-Way match. We are about to see in Fatal 4-Way action this man, The Rock, the People's Champion, taking on Mankind, Bret the Hitman Hart, and the British Bulldog in a one-fall-to-a-finish Fatal 4-Way match. And whoever wins that is set to take on the winner of our main event here tonight, The Big Show, The Undertaker, and Shinsuke Nakamura. And folks, I cannot wait to see which man wins out of both matches and who we are going to see compete for a chance at the Workhorse Championship. I'm also excited for the CM Punk and Booker T match. You all saw CM Punk earlier tonight say that he was not going to align yet again with Jim Cornette, but he was attacked by Owen Hart, that dastardly Jim Cornette. But folks, right here, right now, The Rock, the People's Champion, is looking to etch his name on the Workhorse Championship for the very first time, to be the first man to have his name on that championship. But he's not going to get it done if this man, making his way to the ring, has anything to say about it. Mankind, who even knows if this man is a man? I mean, he's definitely a psycho man, I can tell you that much. Folks, the lights may be on, but nobody is home. When Mankind enters that ring, it's a world of pain, and he's bringing us with him here tonight, as he is, of course, accompanied by, we all know, the Big Red Machine Kane, and we saw in Kane's qualifying match, which in fact he did lose at the hands of Bray Wyatt and his group attacked Kane and Mankind, but Kane here making his way, just waiting to be joined now by his friend Mankind. And I'm not quite sure what the Wyatt house wants to do with Kane and Mankind. I'm not sure what their intentions are, but hopefully they stay out of the way of this Workhorse Championship qualifier match. But you know, they didn't stay out of the way of Kane's, and Kane looks a little confused right now, folks. Where is Mankind? You know, usually he would have been making his way down the ramp by now, but his theme music is still playing, and he's not out here. Where is he? Where's Mankind? Wait a second. Bray, oh my, that's Bray Wyatt. Bray Wyatt and Brody Lee. They're beating down on Mankind backstage. You've got to be kidding me. Ruining yet another qualifying match. Man, Kane was just waiting for Mankind to make his way into the ring. And folks, now Kane. Wait a second, where is this cameraman going? You're a bit high there, bud. You're at the top of the tapped out zone. Where are we going here? Oh my God. That's that pig mask man. What is he doing at the top of the zone? At the top of the tapped out zone? What are you doing up there? No! Doing a flip from the top of the tapped out zone. This pig masked man, what is going on, ladies and gentlemen? And the lights went out. Folks, if things couldn't get any more strange, the lights have gone out. And I think we're back to normal now, hopefully, finally, as now we are about to see the excellence of execution, the next band to enter this match. But where's Mankind? He's still not out here. I guess we're just gonna have a triple threat now? I don't know what's really going on here, folks. Well, anyways, I guess we're just gonna get back to this match. And Bret the Hitman Hart, you know, he doesn't just fight, he executes. You know, there's a difference between the two. And this is one of those guys who doesn't fight for attention, he fights for perfection in that ring. He doesn't care about, you know, these fans' support as much as he does accept it and love it. He cares more about the way things look in the ring, the way the wrestling looks in the ring. You know, it's not about the story he tells with theatrics and over-the-top storylines. It's about what he can do in that ring. And what he's been able to do in that ring with this man, a member of Bret Hart's family. So you gotta believe this is a little bit controversial. The British Bulldog coming out here with that dastardly is about to make his way to the ring. And this man, look at the size of him. The British Bulldog is not a man to mess with. Waving the Union Jack high and proud, this man has an entire nation that he fights with on his back when he steps into that ring. But he threw that all away for Jim Cornette and his Camp Cornette. I can't even believe the British Bulldog would do something like that. The second he signed his name on the dotted line, Jim Cornette came his way, and all he saw was the money. All he saw was the Benjamin. And take a look at Jim Cornette directing the British Bulldog to get in the ring here. And here we go! Starting this thing off explosively is the British Bulldog. The Bulldog is one of the most powerful men here in Tapped Out to Pro Wrestling. As now the Bulldog going for an Irish whip here on Bret Hart, but Bret Hart with a reversal up and over. But now Bulldog catches him. Down goes Bret Hart on his back. Bret Hart in a bad situation here, as now the Bulldog with a catapult over the top rope, sending Bret Hart crashing down to the floor, and not a pretty way. And that's not a very good way to start this match off if you're Bret the Hitman Hart. But The Rock able to catch the British Bulldog with that clothesline, catching the Bulldog off guard. And you got to believe that's a hard thing to do. And now look at as The Rock is just dropping down these stomps on the British Bulldog's chest, just drilling him with these stomps one after another. The Rock now has the upper hand as he goes for this DDT, sending the British Bulldog crashing down on the top of his head. My God, Bret the Hitman Hart though back in the ring, and look at that Bulldog! Able to duck the clothesline of The Rock, and he gets caught with that Bulldog by the excellence of execution, and Bret the Hitman Hart with that backbreaker there. Man, Bret the Hitman Hart, he is just so fluent with these moves in the ring. And look at this, taking the leg out of the British Bulldog there. Taking that knee and just dropping it right on top of his own, and now kicking the leg and just wearing down these legs for, you gotta believe, the sharpshooter. Oh, now look at this. Bret Hart's got him. Oh, right down on that leg, and a second one. Just sitting himself down, all of the weight of Bret the Hitman Hart crashing on the kneecap. And now look at this suplex by Bret Hart, but no reversal. And out of the ring yet again goes Bret, and down goes the British Bulldog with that signature spine buster of Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson. And you know what comes next. Take a look here, the most electrifying move in all of sports entertainment and all of professional wrestling, the People's Elbow. But Bret Hart coming right back at him, but The Rock not even standing for it, especially after hitting a People's Elbow like that on the British Bulldog. And getting Bret Hart out of the way yet again is The Rock. And now The Rock just in the ring with the British Bulldog. And look at this rock bottom. This thing is hot and heavy. 1, 2. But Bret Hart was able to break it up. Beautiful save there by Bret the Hitman Hart. Oh my God, keeping this thing going, but not for long as look, Bret the sharpshooter replied. Oh no, this is not good for the British Bulldog, and this is not good if you are The Rock, another man who is in this match who might just lose by Bret Hart putting the sharpshooter not even on The Rock. And look at this! Wait a second! Why did Jim Cornette hop up on the apron? What? Well anyway, Jim Cornette hopped up on the apron there, and as he was hopping up on the apron, The Rock was able to catch him with a punch, but that distracted him as the British Bulldog was tapping out to the sharpshooter and basically just gave Bret Hart this win. Well, ladies and gentlemen, that was a little confusing. Did Jim Cornette mean to give Bret Hart the win, or was that unintentional? I'm confused. And I think The Rock is too, as look at this, they're about to fight. Well, ladies and gentlemen, I don't even know what to say, folks. I'm confused. Bret the Hitman Hart has just won this match. He is the one that is going to be moving on to face the winner of our triple threat main event later tonight. But what is going on, folks? Well, I guess we're going to have to get some answers from Bret the Hitman Hart. I don't want to say anything, but is he working? Is he working with Jim Cornette? I don't want to accuse a man. I don't want to accuse Bret Hart here. But the British Bulldog, Owen Hart, some of his family are in this group. I don't know, ladies and gentlemen. But anyway, later tonight, like I said, the main event, The Undertaker, The Big Show, and Shinsuke Nakamura in triple threat action. The winner takes on Bret the Hitman Hart, who just won that triple threat that we just saw. And then, of course, Triple H taking on Stone Cold Steve Austin. And again, whoever wins that will also get a future opportunity at the Workhorse Championship. All of this and more up next.
Well, let me tell you something, brother. If you're looking for some of the best accessories in the wrestling action figure world today, look no further than Wrestling Superstore and Figures Toy Company Jack. They've got everything you need to make your fig-fed immortal dudes, including referees, real scale rings, various weapons, crowd stares, and even crowd numbers. And no, we're not sponsored, nor do we have a promo code. Hoodmaster just wants to show some love from the Hood Prada. Wouldn't you love to see my 20-inch pythons take your fig fed to the sky, don't Jack? So go right now, eat your vitamins, say your prayers, and check out FiguresToyCompany.com so you can slam big, smelly, stupid, stinking giants in your fig feds too.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to Tapped Out to Pro Wrestling. You all saw it last week. Stone Cold Steve Austin did, in fact, stick his nose in Triple H's business. And now tonight, Stone Cold has asked for this match against the game Triple H, the cerebral assassin, Triple H, the man who's about to make his way to the ring right about now. And the game, he's got his mind set on one thing, and that is taking out his enemy, his sworn enemy in Stone Cold Steve Austin. The game has in fact changed, and Triple H is the one who rewrote the rules. He is the boss. He is the master. He is the one who will make sure that you are no longer here and tapped out to pro wrestling at the snap of a finger. But he couldn't quite do that to the rattlesnake Stone Cold Steve Austin, who last week, like I said, gave us this match. He stormed into Eric Bischoff's office and demand that we have this match right now. And folks, honestly, it's a good thing that he did so, because What a classic we are getting for free, just right here on Tapped Out to Pro Wrestling on a weekly basis, on a regular episode of Working Hours. You gotta love it. Him spitting out that water bottle a few minutes ago does not symbolize anything more than him stepping in that ring and you stepping into hell with the game. And you are about to see that with the rattlesnake Stone Cold Steve Austin. But you know what they always say, when you hear the glass, it's your ass. And here he comes. You hear that, ladies and gentlemen? That's not just entrance music. That's the sound of a madman marching to the ring to beat someone's ass. And he's about to do that to the game. Triple H here tonight. Steve Austin, although you'll find at one point was one of the most sound technical wrestlers, he's not much of a wrestler nowadays. He's more of a fighter. He's one of those guys who will stomp on you harder than he stomps on a beer can. Stone Cold Steve Austin. Oh, here we go. Austin punching away at the game, Triple H. And now he's stomping a mud hole in him. And he's about ready to walk it dry. Look at him stomping a mud hole in him and walking it dry. Stone Cold Steve Austin is ready for this bar fight. And look at him go as now, look at him flipping off the Cerebral Assassin. Flipping off Triple H. He does not care about this man. He does not respect this man. But luckily, he at least has some respect for the men in the stripes, and specifically this one right here, referee Tony, as now take a look, Steve Austin. Headlock applied by Triple H. Triple H has him right where he wants him. Steve Austin is in trouble. Stone Cold Steve Austin, could he be passing out at the hands of the game? But no, Steve Austin back to his feet. He's got Triple H, and he's backing him up into the ropes. Off the ropes here, and take a look. Shoulder block there by Triple H. And now Triple H off the ropes, coming back here. Look at this Steve Austin spine buster off the ropes, and a beautiful forearm there by Steve Austin. A signature forearm right there by Steve Austin. Vintage Stone Cold Steve Austin. As now both men are on the outside of the ring here. Very precarious situation as we're on the floor. Triple H catches him with the punch. Steve Austin in trouble. Triple H whipping him right into those steel steps. My God, those unforgiving steel steps. And now take a look as Triple H is about to suplex him on the wooden floor. No, don't do it. My God, just suplexing him. Did you hear the sound that wood makes as flesh just bounces right off it? What a disgusting sound that was, as now Triple H back in the ring with Stone Cold Steve Austin, getting ready to now wear down the back that he just tortured on the outside with that suplex. But now Steve Austin, look at coming back with these shots here on Triple H. He's coming back somehow. Take a look at that. Triple H did not think that Steve Austin had any fight left in him, as now Austin goes for a neck breaker, but Triple H able to catch Steve Austin with that knee. Catching Steve Austin off guard, and now he's got him right where he wants him, but Austin, able to duck the line there of Triple H, but he gets caught with that signature spine buster. That's not good there, getting caught by two of Triple H's signature moves. Steve Austin in trouble, as now he's looking to finish it off with the exclamation point, the pedigree, but no, Austin, stunner, Austin, it's the stunner on Triple H. Hitting the stunner on the Cerebral Assassin with Stone Cold Steve Austin. There we go. That's exactly what he needed. But wait a second. What is this about? That's Matt Cardona and Brian Myers. No, the major players. You've got to be kidding me. The major players making an impact here on Tapped Out to Pro Wrestling Working Hours by taking out Triple H and Stone Cold Steve Austin. You've got to be kidding me. This is ridiculous. Interrupting what was a tremendous match there between Stone Cold Steve Austin and Triple H is Brian Myers and Matt Cardona. You've got to be kidding me. The Deathmatch King. Matt Cardona and Brian Myers, two journeymen who have made names for themselves all over the world on the indie circuit, but not only just for themselves, but as tag team competitors as well on major brands. And speaking of major, you could check both of these guys out on the Major Wrestling Figure podcast right here on YouTube. So go ahead and take a look at that. I mean, honestly, it's one of my favorite podcasts. That's why I just got to point it out right there. But whatever. Enough of me marking out for Matt Cardona and Brian Myers. Folks, I cannot say how happy I am to have them here in Tapped Out the Pro Wrestling Working Hours, but making a name for themselves at the expense of Triple H and Stone Cold. I don't know if I'd go doing all that.
Broad River.
This world is full of sheep, man. Sheep, lions, and crooks. And at one point, I used to think that Kane nor Mankind were one of those. Up until they signed their name on the dotted line for us. Well, not us. Because we don't follow that system, man. We don't follow what you people like to follow and believe in. We follow to a beat of our own drum. And we're taking that and showing Kane and Mankind that monsters are real, man, but not some fake monster like them. I mean, come on, Kane says his body was burnt to a crisp, yet there's so much of it exposed with that arm. Clearly not all of them was burnt. And Mankind, come on now. Tell them who you really are. Tell them about that hardcore match you were in, huh? Go ahead, Mankind, tell them, man. We still got one more so-called monster to take care of. And he believes that he can be something that no human being could possibly ever be. And we're gonna show him for the false, for the liar that he is. I hope you're all ready. And I'm sure everybody is wondering who the man under the pig mask is. Who this huskiest of a man really is, but I'm not gonna let that secret just lie out there like that. No. We gotta keep you under that mask for longer than you would ever think. And my friend, although you think your mask is scary, no mask is scarier than the one that I wear. And it's not what you see here. Get ready for my monster to be revealed soon enough, but we gotta make sure that these so-called monsters don't make a name for themselves before we take care of them. And you all will follow that.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to Tapped Out to Pro Wrestling, and making his way to the ring now is probably the tallest athlete we have here on the Tapped Out to Pro Wrestling roster. The 7-foot tall, the Big Show, Paul White, looking to make his way to the ring now, and this is one of the men who are going to be competing in the triple threat match that we are about to have right now. And whoever wins this match is going up against Bret the Hitman Hart, the man who won the triple threat earlier on in the night that was interrupted by Bray Wyatt and his family. And folks, I'm hoping and praying that Bray Wyatt doesn't get involved whatsoever in this match, but as you all heard earlier on in the night, Bray Wyatt apparently is looking forward to standing face-to-face with The Undertaker, and is it going to be in this match? Well, folks, I certainly hope not. But making his way to the ring right now, one of the greatest wrestlers ever to come out of Japan, the king of strong style, Shinsuke Nakamura. You know, when I first heard about this match, I'm not going to lie, to me, Shinsuke Nakamura was the odd one out. You know, The Undertaker, he's about 6'11". The Big Show is about 7 feet tall. This is the only man who doesn't even go over the 6'5" mark in this match. So you gotta believe that this guy is the underdog going into this one, but I gotta say, him being a knockout artist of sorts kind of helps him in this match. As they say, the bigger they are, the harder they will fall, and we're gonna find that out here tonight. We're gonna see if Shinsuke Nakamura can knock down these two giants, and we're gonna see, truthfully, how hard they can fall. So now the stage is set. CM Punk is set to take on Booker T. Bret Hart is set to take on whoever's going to win this triple threat match here. And then that will determine who's going to be going one-on-one for the Tapped Out to Pro Wrestling Workhorse Championship. And folks, honestly, I would love to see a guy like Shinsuke Nakamura go all the way. He is a workhorse, not just of this brand, but of wrestling in general. He's competed around the world against some of the best professional wrestlers. I mean, come on now, this guy is a journeyman. I mean, a journeyman from Japan. There's not many of them out there. Some see this man as one of those old school classic Japanese style pro wrestlers being in the new age of professional wrestling, and that's kind of a way to see it. This man has a lot of Mitsuharu Misawa in him, Keiji Muto in him, Masahiro Chono in him. You could see it in everything he does. But do any of those Japanese legends even hold a candle to the man that's about to make his way to the ring right now, The Undertaker? And as the gong hits, the lights go out, and it gets a little bit more eerie in this arena. We are about to witness the arrival of one of the greatest of all time, the dead man from Death Valley, The Undertaker. And folks, you can hear the arena erupting as we are now awaiting the arrival of the dead man. These people love the demon from Death Valley. These people love The Undertaker, and I mean, it's understandable. This man has a track record across the wrestling world unlike any other professional wrestler. He's been around some of the greatest time periods in professional wrestling, and not only just made a name for himself, but has been one of the main event players of each time period he's been a part of. There's not many other wrestlers that you could say that have done exactly that. And when you talk workhorse, there is nobody that is more of a workhorse than this man. A true locker room leader in every locker room he steps into, The Undertaker. There is nobody more of a workhorse than this man right here. And if there was anybody who I would probably put all of my chips on in this tournament, this guy would be the guy. If there was anybody who I could realistically see walking away with the Workhorse Championship, it's this man right here, because, you know, he's done it all. The Undertaker has done it all in this business. And I cannot wait to see what he could do against one of his, well, many rivals, The Big Show, a man who he's been in the ring with countless times in the past, but a man who he's never stepped foot in the ring with, Shinsuke Nakamura. It's going to be very interesting to see the clash of styles throughout this match. The two giants and Shinsuke Nakamura, the strong style killer. I mean, come on, man, this is going to be interesting to see. And could you imagine if The Undertaker were to win this match? I mean, then he is set to go up against, honestly, one of his most bitter rivals in Bret the Hitman Hart. And that has always been an entertaining match, and I would love to see it yet again, but, you know, only one of these three men are going to get the chance to move on and fight for the Workhorse Championship. And honestly, all three of these men, I could see winning this one. Although Shinsuke Nakamura is the underdog, I could still see him maybe getting the Big Show out of the way and getting the win over The Undertaker, or maybe vice versa, you never know. But folks, we are getting ready to get this one underway. The Undertaker is set to take on the Big Show, Shinsuke Nakamura, but first, we gotta watch the eyes roll in the back of the head. Here it comes! Oh my God, that is just terrifying. That is just the scariest thing ever. Imagine having to look back at that. I couldn't even, ugh. Well, ladies and gentlemen, here we go. Triple threat action. The Undertaker, Shinsuke Nakamura, and the Big Show, as Big Show just gets nailed with that forearm there by Shinsuke, but Undertaker catching the Big Show with that uppercut, which set him up for that capo kick by Shinsuke Nakamura, as now the Undertaker and Shinsuke, the only two up. Shinsuke with the kick, Taker able to duck that first one, but not the second, as he gets caught with that kick to the head. Now all three men back on their feet. Undertaker with a big boot to the Big Show, but not able to get him down, as Show hits Shinsuke with that clothesline. But Undertaker and Shinsuke Nakamura able to throw the Big Show over the top rope. And there goes Shinsuke out to the floor. And now both men are in a very precarious situation. The Undertaker has seen this before, and look! Dive over the top rope. The Undertaker just throwing all caution to the wind and throwing that heavy mass of a man over the top rope. As now the Big Show and the Undertaker, the only two in the ring, as Big Show looking to wear down the Undertaker here with that headbutt. And he's got him right where he wants him, as now Big Show's got the arm of Undertaker. Irish whip reversal there by Undertaker, as now Undertaker has the Big Show into the corner. Big Show is in trouble. Look out, Undertaker now. Both men being able to counter one another back and forth. They have each other's numbers, as now the Big Show with these shoulder thrusts in the corner to the Undertaker. And now he's pulling him out as he's got him for that bear hug. The gigantic arms of the Big Show, this 7-foot giant, just wrapped around the waist of the Undertaker. Will the Undertaker tap out here? I don't know, folks. Like I've said, this man has been in the ring with the Undertaker countless times, but now Big Show with somebody he's not been in the ring with, Shinsuke Nakamura in the corner. Oh my! And I don't know if Shinsuke's ever felt one of those, but now he's got a big old red print on his chest. But the Undertaker, look at this, able to fight back against the Big Show now, with these continuous shots, able to get him onto one knee. Now the Big Show, getting hit yet again with a big boot by the Undertaker, this time taking the Big Show down. And now Shinsuke's got the Undertaker here, exploder suplex into the corner. You've got to be kidding me. How did he even get him up for that? As now he's trying to get the Big Show for a Uranagi, but he can't get him. The Big Show was able to fight out of it. I don't know. Oh, and a forearm there. I don't know how Shinsuke even thought, kick to the chest, he can get the Big Show up, as now the Big Show, oh no, is Shinsuke Nakamura thinking? I don't know what he's thinking as he goes to the waist here of the Big Show. He's got him off his feet. German suplex to the Big Show. Can you believe it? Shinsuke Nakamura using all of his strength to German suplex the 7-foot giant. My God, and now the Big Show able to come back with that clubbing blow to Shinsuke Nakamura there. Getting Nakamura down on his face, he's got him, Irish whip. Shinsuke thought he was in trouble, but he caught him, no! Shinsuke had him for a second there with that spinning heel kick, but the Big Show was able to come back with that clothesline, knocking Shinsuke down, and now the Big Show, he's got him! Big old choke slam! That's gotta be it right there. The Big Show now has Shinsuke right where he wants him, but the Undertaker able to fight back with that flipping clothesline. The Undertaker could get the upper hand by pinning Shinsuke, but I don't think he's gonna take the easy way out, as now the Undertaker looking to hit the exclamation point on the Big Show now. Tombstone pile driver, but Shinsuke with the Bombay knee. Shinsuke out of nowhere with that Bombay knee, just catching the Undertaker off guard right after that Tombstone pile driver. He almost had it there. Shinsuke went for that kick, but gets tossed over the top rope. Man, if Shinsuke was able to capitalize, that could have been it. Oh, no, you've got to be kidding me. God damn it, man. I told you guys, I said Bray Wyatt was going to come out here. Oh, God damn it, and here he is. Bray Wyatt and his family yet again. Bam! With that big boot to the Big Show there, but wait a second. None of these men are going after the Undertaker. What is going on? Bray Wyatt's directing traffic, as now the Pig Mask Man off the ropes. Oh, Tope Suicida over the top rope. What is going on here? Bray Wyatt directing traffic, but nobody's going after The Undertaker. What's this about? The Undertaker, you've got some explaining to do, man. Taker's got some explaining to do. What was that about? Is he a part of this group? Is he a part of the Wyatts as now the Big Show's laid out? And The Undertaker's just gonna take the win?
3.
That's it! I just said 10 minutes ago, not even till like 5 seconds ago, that The Undertaker would not take the easy way out, and he just did! Well, not exactly the way I was hoping, but I guess now we're gonna get The Undertaker and Bret the Hitman Hart one-on-one, but not necessarily the way I would have thought, as the Wyatts they just handed The Undertaker the win. What is this about? Like I said, we're gonna have to get some answers from The Undertaker here. Something is fishy. Something is definitely fishy here. Something is up, and I'm not liking it. Folks, but The Undertaker now moves on, and he, like I said, is set to take on Bret the Hitman Hart. Whoever wins that is going to take on the winner of CM Punk and Booker T, and that one-on-one match will finally decide who is going to be the Workhorse Champion. But ladies and gentlemen, thank you for joining us for Tapped Out to Pro Wrestling Working Hours. What's going on here?